Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the No Opinion News Show, where we give you the news and leave our opinions out the door. This is your, what is it, Tuesday, December 15th, daily news briefing. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Looks like my monitor is working. Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate a like and subscribe. That's all I ever ask for. So let's just get right rolling with this with stimulus. So as of today, it looks like there's two plans on the table. They were introduced yesterday officially. One is a $748 billion plan. The other is the $908 billion plan. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, let's move this over here. Okay, so this is the $908 billion plan. The $908 billion plan provides, as you can see, $160 billion in relief to support state and local and tribal governments. But what's not in here, this was when it was written in good faith negotiations. What is written in now is it specifically says it cannot be used to replenish the pension fund. That was a big sticking point. But all in all, it's still a huge sticking point. The state and local governments. Unemployment assistance is extended for 16 weeks at $300 per week as a boost, but 16 weeks through the state. So whatever you get for unemployment as of right now, when if this is agreed upon, what would happen is you would continue to receive that for 16 more weeks plus a $300 boost per week. For example, if you get $300 a week unemployment, you're going to get $600. The paycheck protect. Whoa, it's too early. I need some more coffee. The Paycheck Protection Program is there with $300 billion going to that. And as we move on, there's transportation funding for the airlines and trains, buses, stuff like that. We've got some healthcare relief. We've also got vaccine distribution relief. The development, obviously, that's gone. It's been developed. And some contact tracing stuff going on here. Also, looks like we've got some funds for education, student loans, loan forbearance, basically that it was forgiven. It wasn't forgiven. It was on hold until the end of this month. So after this month, it was going to be reinstalled. So people who had student loans would have to start payments again. This basically extends it for, looks like through April 30th. Rental assistance, that's big. $25 billion for rental assistance. And it says specifically 90% of the funds must be used for payment of rent, rental arrears, utility arrears, and related housing stability services. So it is specifically targeted for those who are behind in their rent or utilities. There's food aid under nutrition and child care, broadband to develop broadband within the governments and the schools so that they can effectively communicate and do things that they need to do because of this virus over the internet. Addition to mental health. Oh, I'm sorry, addiction to mental health. So those are the people who's really been affected mentally to this. Depression, stuff like that. And liability is in here. Don't know if it's going to pass, but they've still got it in here. And so let's take a look at this and let's talk about this. So the two plans, the $748 billion and the $908 billion. The one I just showed you was the $908 billion plan. The 748 is basically the same as the $908 billion plan, except takes out the liability and takes out the state and local aid. The Democrats and the Republicans are so far off right now on the state and local aid. The Republicans say we don't want to bail out the Democratic states that don't know how to budget their state. One senator used the example of Andrew Cuomo wanting money for New York to bail out his state because he can't balance his budget. But it is written in a certain way that the funds have to be related to COVID-19 and cannot be used, for example, to replenish the pension fund. So it's written in there. Don't know if that's going to make a difference at this point. But like I said, the Democrats and Republicans so far off on that. Let's see. The bipartisan group broke it down. The state and local aid would be controlled and managed by the governor of the state. And like I said, it's written in that the money cannot be used to replenish the state pension fund. So it's actually written in there. So that's a big thing. One of them is expected to pass. Senator Joe Manchin says that the $748 billion package will pass. He also stated that all Democrats and Republicans are on board with that package, and it will pass before Christmas. They're saying they're going to have it done and pass so that they can also go on a Christmas vacation, because they are also saying they will not leave until something is passed. We'll see if that's true. We all know from past experience, throughout this pandemic, while they were working on stimulus, they would just stop and take off for 2 to 3 weeks. So let's see what happens with that. Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley, both senators, are still pushing for stimulus checks. Joe Manchin is insisting that this is just a relief package, not a stimulus package. And it's a relief package for those who might get evicted at the end of the month, those losing unemployment, and for food assistance for people for the first time are having to line up for in food lines who don't qualify for food stamps. So this is what he's saying this is for. It's not a stimulus, it's a relief bill. Basically a lifeline to those who need it for the next couple months. He also said that Joe Biden's coming in on January 20th, and he expects he will help put together a new stimulus package that will cover everything that is needed to get through this crisis. So once again, this is a lifeline, a relief package, just to provide relief until Joe Biden comes in. That's what Joe Manchin is saying. On a side note, Donald Trump is calling for a large stimulus check. He doesn't want $600, he doesn't want $1,200. It's rumored that he's saying, let's get $2,000 out to everyone. If that happens, that'd be pretty awesome too. But I doubt it. So when it comes to stimulus, they keep saying they'll have it done by the end of the week. And I don't want to say in my opinion, because this is no opinion. In my belief, the $748 billion package is the one that has a chance to pass, because they are saying they just want to pass it to get through the holidays. The state and local government aid and the liability protection, they're saying they want to take it up in the new year after the holidays. So we're going to see what happens on that. As far as the vaccine goes, if you don't know already, yesterday the first person received the vaccine in New York. Pfizer has shipped to 636 different sites in the U.S., if I remember right. And medical workers are first in line to receive, followed by the senior care living centers, the senior citizens there. Moderna's vaccine is expected to be approved on Thursday. The FDA did say today that the Moderna vaccine is what they say it is, 94% viable. So that's a good sign. Now they're just going to discuss side effects and all that fun stuff and dig through the data, and most likely will be approved on Thursday. As always, let's move on over to hospitalizations. Hospitalizations, as you can see, are right here. Currently, the United States is at 110,554. Currently in the ICUs, we have 21,456. And currently on ventilators is 7,707. So I guess it's a good thing we made all those ventilators, because they actually did become needed. It doesn't quite look like the U.S. cases have peaked yet. Let's pull up the chart here on Worldometers. All right, here we go. We go with the 7-day moving average. That way we can see what is actually happening. And as you can see, currently we are averaging 218,226 cases per day. That's the cases. If you look back about 2 weeks ago, we had a dip, and wasn't quite sure if we peaked at that time, but apparently not. But if you look at this, looks like it's kind of rounding the curve there. So I'm not going to say yes or no, because we went through the Thanksgiving holidays, and usually after the weekends we have big spikes. So I'm not going to say we peaked yet. We're going to find out this week. As you can see with the 3-day moving average, our peak weeks were those last 2 weeks right here and here. We went up a little bit more. We'll see if it continues to go up or if it stops or starts to drop down at that point. As far as deaths go, it's basically looking the same. We had that drop right around Thanksgiving, right after Thanksgiving, and we are currently on a climb, averaging 2,527 deaths per day. So we'll see what happens there. Let's take a quick look at worldwide. And if you're ever interested in this site, it's worldometers.info/coronavirus/. A lot of info on this site. So as far as the daily new cases worldwide, currently they are at 630,201. But what I wanted to show you on this, I had thought they had peaked right here and they were going down. It was right about Thanksgiving. But then they started going up again, and that would probably be due to the numbers in the U.S. going up. But I also notice now that they have a little downslide going there at the end there. I'm not gonna throw my hat in the ring and say they peaked and they're going down, because every time I do that, it seems to go up even higher. As far as their deaths go, following the same thing, they've leveled off, jumped up, leveled off, and currently at 10,988 deaths per day average. And if we look at the 3-day bubble, we'll see that they also are just continuing to rise. But this last one was at 12.6, and this one was at 12.53. So really, it just went up a little bit by about 85 deaths per day on the 3-day average. So we're going to take a look and keep watching that. See what happens. Hopefully everything's going to look good there in a week or two. We're also going to continue following what happens with the vaccine. Obviously, we're not going to see anything for months. They're just starting to give the vaccine. If I remember right, 2.9 trillion doses, 2.9 million doses were available right now, and we have 330 million people in the U.S. And it takes 2 doses to be inoculated. So we're going to be looking for a little bit further down the road before we see any difference. But we'll keep following it. We'll see what happens. But I truly expect that it's going to probably rise through Christmas, and then maybe February it might level. Well, it'll probably level off before February, but after that we might start seeing a drop. And in a little bit of political news, the Electoral College did their little vote yesterday, and they did vote Joe Biden as president. So Joe Biden will take over on January 20th of next year, and we'll see what happens then. That's all I've got for you today. I really, really do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching the No Opinion News Network. My name's Chris. Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to like. I'd appreciate a subscription, you subscribing. But if you have any questions, shoot them in the comments. I'll definitely look it up and clarify anything for you that I can. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and you take care.